Fractal's been on a roll recently, and whether you've been looking at the North or the Torrent or the Meshify 2, they've been making some great cases. And now the Meshify 3 is finally here, and it's got a few pretty cool upgrades. And today we've got the premium Ambiance Pro edition. It's gonna cost you quite a bit more than the regular one, but it'll be up to you to decide whether you think it's worth it or not. We've got our Meshify 3 user guide. This is obviously the white version of the case, in case you hadn't figured that out yet. There's also a black version of this case, if that's what you'd prefer. And then we've also got our Meshify 3 RGB accessories. Hardware, cable ties, legacy splitter, extension cable. Oh, this is actually a really nice feature. All of our cables are white to match our white case. Love to see it. It's a really pretty case. We've got a few key differences between this one and the Meshify 2. First of all, this top panel. It's all perforated with this kind of plastic insert. The nice thing is most of this should be toolless. Like I can probably just take off, just pull them all off. Oh yeah, easy. And they've actually added little holes here, screw holes, in case you don't want these to be easy to just come off on you. Maybe you're shipping it somewhere, or you're just like putting it in the car to take to a LAN or something. You can screw them down to keep them secure. The Torrent kind of has that, but they're on the inside here. They're not quite as easily accessible. You've got to take the top off to then screw down the side panels. And then we've also got a removable front panel. Ooh. Oh, there we go, easy. It's got some pogo pins here. That's for our fancy RGB that we're gonna control everything. They're still using their kind of trademark cool wavy front. I really like the design. It might not be for you, but I think it does a good job of ventilation and it just looks neat. And then after removing the front, we've got access to our 3 140mm fans. Surprisingly, no rear exhaust, but that's okay. If you do feel like you need that extra airflow, just throw one in there. These are also using their kind of proprietary fan cable that's putting the ARGB and the power all in one, and it's going to this nice little fan hub back here. As for all the cable management, it actually looks pretty good. We've got these clips that should just come out. What's cool is if you look at these, they're teethed, like gears kind of, so you can like adjust how much extra cable space you need on this guy. And then the nice thing is it'll like tighten down, it'll kind of ratchet, like once you reach the desired depth that you're looking for. One cool thing that they've done here is they've done the scoop. This isn't the first time we've seen it. I'm pretty sure NZXT has a fan like mounted in a weird 90-degree angle or something down there in their version. But what this should do, in theory, is it's gonna pass air through and up into your graphics card instead of either one, dumping it just into the power supply chamber, or I guess just not going anywhere else. Some of you may like how it looks, some of you might not. I think that it's a cool idea and I really like how it will work, but I like decorating the inside of my computer. So for me, this is just like more space that I can't sticker bomb or I can't put a little figurine or something. So to each their own. I do think it's still, they've managed to do it tastefully. Some of you savvy case connoisseurs out there might remember that this was actually supposed to come out months ago, but there's a bit of an issue with the PCIe covers. Fractal has since fixed that and reshipped all the cases out. They kind of did the same thing with, I think it was the Torrent that had a fan hub issue. People noticed it, Fractal took charge, fixed it, and addressed it for you. And that's kind of why I still support them. I mean, on top of making just good cases, they just, you know, actually seem to care about their product and they don't want to get sued and they'd rather put out a good product than not. One issue though that you might have is if you're someone like me who has more than a couple of hard drives in their computer, there's not a ton of support. Because we've got this whole scoop design down here, there's no 3.5-inch bays for your big HDDs. Those can go here and here. But then if you fill these up with hard drives, then you don't have a ton of SSD mounting. Fractal does have a little diagram of like how many drives you can mount and where to put them. But like, it's not the compact version. I don't know if we'll get a C version of the Meshify 3 later, but to make this even smaller, like I don't know how they're gonna get rid of even more space. We've got the XL, we'll take a quick look at it later. Maybe it's got more drive caddies, not sure. But that's just something that I'm sad about. Let's talk about the power supply area. It's actually pretty sweet. It's got a couple of little rubber mounting pads here, anti-vibration pads, and then it's got the nice removable plate on the back. And these thumb screws are a little tight, but I'm still undoing them with my thumbs, so I'm gonna call that toolless. We've also got another fan filter down here, which was actually super easy to get at. I prefer this side loading method. Like, my computer is on the ground in the back, so to pull the fan out like that, I've got to pull the computer out. Whereas like this, I could just actually take it out, clean the filter, and put it back in. I also think it's really tasteful how they've like incorporated the foot into the rest of the filter. It just makes it look clean, and it's really easy to take off. To continue with our toolless adventure, these thumb screws were also finger tight, so I'm easily able to undo them. Screwdriver would probably be easier, and especially if I wasn't trying to do them from back here, but I'm gonna take these off without a tool. And then boom, you can take that whole top off. I love this. I don't know when this started, but honestly, if you can build your computer with the top off, it's gonna make your life a whole lot easier, especially if you're using a bulky air cooler and a big graphics card. It's just way easier when you're not trying to fiddle with cables in here and then like use your fingers to plug in the CPU power, because now you can just pop it off and put it in there. And then on the front, we've also got these cool cable covers. These should be adjustable, I believe. Oh yeah, there's a little thumb screw back here. Oh, okay, I finally need a screwdriver. This one's not finger tight. One moment, please. I'm gonna undo them real quick, and then we should, actually, I don't even know if that second one needed to come out. I'm just gonna, wow, look at that. Easy. So now when you've got your cables out, you can just kind of close that when you're all done, and it'll just hide them a little better. We'll see how well it actually hides stuff once I put a computer in here, but I like it. And before I build in this guy, I just wanted to point out that it's got some OK I/O. We've got our power button here, a couple of USB-A, USB-C, and what looks like a headphone jack, probably a combo jack. And what's this? It's our sponsor!
Thanks to Fanttik for sponsoring this video. Their F2 Master cordless rotary toolkit stands out thanks to its small size, weighing in at just 0.22 pounds. It's also waterproof and dustproof, so no matter what you're grinding, it's easy to wipe it clean when you're done. There's 35 different accessories that come with the kit, and it can be used for grinding, polishing, drilling, carving, and more. The F2 Master has a max speed of up to 25,000 RPM with 5 adjustable speed settings, and it's quiet at only 32 decibels. Plus, it has an aluminum metal housing, a 7,000 milliamp hour battery, and a USB-C port for charging. Get the Fanttik F2 Master for your next project on Amazon at the link below, and use our coupon code to get 30% off.
Now let's put a computer inside of it. One thing that you might want to do before you try to put your board in is slide the cable covers all the way out of the way, because as you can see with this one, if they were in the way, these SATA ports, they're in the way. I'm wiring up my case, and I realized that for the motherboard, it's a little, it's not the worst. I can slip it past there, but one problem with this fan hub placement is it's like right where you want to plug in at least your ATX 24 pin. And it's, for proper cable management, I'm gonna have to like undo this and then put this here and then pop that there and then put it back under here. And it's really not the end of the world, but they could have put it somewhere else. Now you might be thinking to yourself once you get to installing the graphics card, hey, I can't get my screwdriver in there. You just take the clip off, you dummy. Look at that. Look at all this access. All right, everything's plugged in, everything's screwed down. Now we've just got to cable manage. The best part. I literally just tucked some stuff away and then threw the covers on, and it's basically good enough. If I spent some more time, yeah, it could look a little nicer, but that was literally like 2 minutes of work to get it to where we are now. That's not bad. And with that, we're done. We'll put our side panel back on, make sure our power switch is on, turn it on. We've got this little light strip down here. Well, hold on, let it all get going. What's the front look like? That's what I want to know. You can control the lighting with their software, but I really like the kind of shades of blue that it was just on, and I really like how diffuse everything is, especially on the white. So you might want the white version of this case. It's rather pretty, but what do we have over here? It's the Meshify 3 XL! There aren't a ton of differences with the XL version aside from it being longer. You're gonna fit a longer GPU, a longer power supply, and there's room for some more fans. I can see they've got some mounts back here if you wanna do like a radiator on the back or even just some ventilation on this rear panel here. Sadly enough, we're still limited to our 2 3.5 inch bays. So if you're looking for hard drive space, the Meshify 3 might not be for you. But if you're looking for a very stylish, very breathable case that looks pretty and is gonna perform quite well, I honestly, I have a hard time not recommending this thing. It's great. This thing was an absolute pleasure to build in, as per usual. I really love just how easy it was to take this off and take the top off. And just get in there any which way I wanted. There were a few minor complaints that we pointed out while building it. Another one that I don't think I brought up was just how narrow the passageway is in here if you've got a full board. I've got a big Tai Chi motherboard in here, and so there's really not a lot of extra space. So I don't know if they could just like make those a little bigger or whatever. It'd be a lot easier to kind of get in and around. It doesn't help that I put my GPU in first before plugging them in, to be fair. But otherwise, I think it's just a really solid and pretty case, and Fractal just kind of keeps knocking it out of the park. Let's talk about the price though, because at least if you want this version, it's a little expensive, and that's subject to change because of all the tariffs and everything going around. So who knows, it could be even more by the time this video releases. For the base Meshify 3, it's $140, and I think that's pretty reasonable. And then if you want the RGB version, you're only going up to $160. Not bad. However, if you want the Ambiance Pro version specifically, you're gonna have to shell out $220 for the non-XL. And then if you want the XL, you basically just add $30 on each of those price tiers. And yeah, it's longer and you can fit a bigger GPU, but if I'm getting an XL, I'm kind of hoping for like some extra hard drive caddies or something in there so I can jam as many Linux ISOs as I can manage to download in a single afternoon. I do like it. I like it quite a bit, and I think that if you like the look of it and if you like a really easy to build in case and you're willing to shell out a bit of money, you only really buy one case and you can carry that forward to kind of like a power supply for basically as long as you want. I definitely recommend the Fractal Meshify 3. It's a fantastic case from a great company, and I'm just happy that I was able to build in it today. Maybe I have to upgrade. Thanks for watching ShortCircuit. If you want to see another build video, check out the time I built in a Fractal North. That's, I don't know, I kind of like that one more, but the Meshify is pretty great.